Hello, good morning guys. This is Coding with Gautam. As we learned in a lot of videos, we learned a lot about JavaScript coding. So today, let's learn about something new. So first, let's go to Safari and go to Code Combat. So guys, today we are gonna learn about backwoods forest. Yeah, you guys are thinking backward forest is not related to JavaScript, it's a world. But we're gonna go through 1/4 of backwards forest to understand every level is different. So let's go and see how each level works. We're gonna start from here till here in the first fourth, then till here in the second fourth, and then till here in the third fourth, and then down off. So guys, let's begin and let's start. So now guys, first in the first level we learned a lot about building. We just had to build 2 fences to stop the ogres from coming. Here are our build XY fence at the XY coordinates. He builds fences, saving the people of Plainswood. Then we go on to 9 gems. This is where you have to use your brain a little bit and try to catch all of these gems in just 4 moves. Let's see how this goes. So first you go and get the left up corner gem. Next then you go and then you go down and then you go up, collecting the last 2 gems you ever want. And now we caught those gems, and now we also had success in this level, the 9 gems. This is move XY and we already learned about that. So now let's go a little bit more farther to the level winding trail. Now in winding trail, this introduces to move XY and this again. So let's see how this goes. He moves to the first XY pose of the first gem. He moves to the second XY pose of the second gem, and then he goes into the ogre's sight, alerts him a little bit, walks fast, only giving him 5 attacks, getting the gems, and goes giving him only 3 attacks, and actually you're supposed to build a fence over here, but I finished all these goals, so we finished it. So now we also learn about this level. This stuff is easy for us. Let's go a little bit into ifs and what we learned in the past videos. So now we remember this one, woodland cubbies. We go to the first X, use an if to check for an enemy. We move to the second X, checks the if for an enemy, checks for your enemy, and if there's no enemy, he just moves on. And now you see how simply this code ran. Now we understand what is in this. A hero moves to the first X, he finds enemies. If there's no enemy, he moves to the second X, finds enemies. If there's an enemy, attack one. Next thing he goes to the last X, no enemies, he gets out of there. So now guys, let's learn a little bit more of the backwoods forest. So guys, let's see what the goal of this level is. Defeat the ogres. If starvangza. We also remember this level from our if and else statements video. This is a simple code, but it has a lot of meaning in the player. So let's see what this simple code does to it. While true, variable enemy equals hero finds the nearest enemy. If there's an enemy, hero attacks an enemy. Let's check how it goes. He goes and he finds the enemy, he attacks an enemy, he goes again, finds another enemy, he attacks the enemy, and so on. That goes out to the whole video. Some guys come to watch me, they go away after I'm finished, and we defeated the ogres using ifs. Now let's go forward and go to back. In this level we have to patrol the village. Now let's see this. While true, variable enemy equal to hero find nearest enemy if there's an enemy hero attacks. So now we get introduced to else's. Else hero moves to the wooden X to save the peasants. Now he goes, kills them, he moves back, 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 and so on, making the peasants survive. Now let's go to another level, woodland cleaver. Now let's go. Fend off the ogres. Now we are getting introduced to cleave and the is ready method. So hero moves to the center of these guys, while true, enemy equals hero find nearest enemy. If hero is ready to cleave, hero cleaves and hero attacks. Else, hero attacks the enemy. Let's see how this code goes. He goes, he cleaves all those guys, attacks, 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 and attacks. He attacks all of them. So guys, could you please give me a minute and enjoy this code? Now sorry guys for the disturbance, and I'm back. So now we learn what this code means and how he fended off the ogres. Then now we finished woodland cleaver, and now let's go to backwoods standoff. If cleave is ready, hero cleave. So it's like the same one. Like see, while true, it ends it. Variable enemy equals hero find nearest enemy. If hero, so if there's a hero, and there's always a hero, variable ready equals hero find nearest enemy. Hero cleaves. If hero does not cleave, hero is not ready. While enemy, variable enemy equals hero find nearest enemy, hero attacks enemy. So now he cleaves when he's ready, and he attacks the guys who are in a group. He attacks, and next then now he's ready to cleave, and he cleaves. But actually he doesn't cleave. So now guys, we saw backwoods standoff. Now let's go to range finder. So in the level named range finder, we find the range of something. So now we are introduced to variables and distance to enemy. So first, variable enemy 1 is Gort, this guy. Variable distance 1 is the distance from him to Gort. Hero says the distance 1, and the artillery guy shoots it. Next then, enemy 2, Smasher, this guy. And then distance 2 Smasher, and hero says and actually shoots. But we don't want to shoot at Charles, he's our friend. So we don't say the distance, we just keep it to ourselves. And then finally 4, Gorgnub. Variable distance 4 equals the distance to Gorgnub, and hero says distance 4. Let's look at this one starting. He shoots balls to them, and he kills the first munchkin. He goes, he kills the second ogre, and then he goes a long distance and he kills Gorgnub. And our peasant is safe, and our horse is safe, my cowgirl is safe, and I am safe. And now we have learned about rangefinder. Now let's go to peasant protection. Now we got ourselves a little introduced to booleans greater or less. Now, so while true, variable enemy equals hero find nearest enemy, if variable distance to enemy, and then if the distance is less than 10, if enemy, so it's like a nested if in an if. So if distance is less than 10 and if enemy, hero attacks the enemy, else hero stays at his position. He doesn't want to go wandering off and letting the peasants die. So he only kills them when they're near to him. And he kills those guys and he throws them all in the farm. And then we win. And now guys, I may haven't include this in my boolean video, but these are the greater and less booleans. Now let's go to maniac munchkins. Let's play. Now while true, enemy equals hero find nearest enemy, distance equals hero dot distance to enemy. If hero is ready to cleave, hero cleaves. Else if the distance to the enemy is less than 5, enemy equals hero find nearest enemy, hero attacks, else hero keeps attacking the chest to get gold. Let's see how this thing goes. And now we open the chest and the gold is ours. And then we go back to the map. And then we go to forest fire dancing. Okay guys, now we start. So, avoid fireballs using the evil stone. This is an evil stone. So while true, variable evil stone equals hero find nearest item, since there are no items like coins or gems to pick up, this is also included in items. So it's also find nearest item. If there's an evil stone, variable position equals evil stone dot position. If position dot x equals 34, hero moves to 4622. That's the right side. Else hero dot moves 3422 to the left side. Else he just stays in the middle. Let's see how this thing goes. Now you see how the evil stone helps us navigate through the fire. You can zoom in on this guy. And he did it. And now, after he did it, next then we click map, and next then we go to village rover. Stop all the ogres, save all the peasants. Function find and attack enemy. Now we are getting a little bit introduced to functions, like a recap from our other video. Variable enemy equals hero find nearest enemy. If there's an enemy, hero attacks, and then we define the find and attack, and now you move to each of these axes, finds and attacks the enemies. Let's see how this works. See, he goes, he attacks this guy, and then he goes back. He attack, and see, if there's a friend, he doesn't care because he's a friend. He only wants enemies. And now there's an enemy, hero kills it. He kills it. Oh my gosh, those guys are running so fast. And now stop all the rovers and save the peasants. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I will cover the other half of backwoods forest in my next video. This is Coney with Gautam signing off.